Hello there, Mama. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing some helpful tips when it comes to your newborn baby's very first bath. Coming up. Hey there, and welcome back to the Kids OT Help channel. My name's Nicole. I'm a mommy, I'm a pediatric OT, as well as a certified lactation counselor. And this is part 2. So if you haven't checked out part 1, which is all the reasons why you should delay your baby's first bath, check that out first because it'll all come together and make that much more sense. And if you have seen part 1, well then welcome. This is part 2 where we are actually giving your newborn baby their first bath. And so I'm just gonna share a few helpful tips before you get going to make it a success. All right, so helpful tip number 1 is to make sure that you have all the items that you will need during and post bath time in one location. This may seem really obvious, but the truth of the matter is, if we've never done this before, it's easy to forget an item or two, which means you have to pull your baby out of the bath to go get said items, and it just makes the whole thing more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, so the items that you want to consider having in one space would be the designated area in which you're bathing your child. So if that is an infant tub, maybe it's your kitchen sink, or maybe it is the bathroom sink. Then of course you're going to want some gentle soap, access to warm water, the gentle washcloth, lotion, and a diaper, and of course a towel and anything else that you might be putting your baby in after. So whether that's a onesie or a pajama set. So of course, before we put our baby in the clean water, we're gonna remove the dirty diaper and wipe them so they're good to go. And once they are in their designated bathing area, you're gonna have them in a reclined position in one hand, which frees up this hand to clean your baby. So if your baby still has his or her umbilical cord, it's actually ideal to give a sponge bath because you don't want to get that area too wet. So tip number 2 would be use a sponge or a very soft washcloth with delicate soap to just wash between the places where milk is probably getting trapped. So underneath the neck, sides of the neck, get in between the folds where baby sweats or moisture might be trapped. And this sponge bath will actually be pretty efficient, especially in the first weeks or so, because newborn babies don't need that many baths. It actually can be really irritating to the skin to bathe your newborn baby too often. So once your baby's umbilical cord has fallen out, then you can submerge your baby in the bathtub and give full-on baths. But let's be honest, as new parents, you may end up doing that sooner than the umbilical cord falls out because your baby's gonna have blowouts, and sometimes a sponge bath just isn't going to cut it. So I've mentioned this briefly before, but this is worth repeating. I think it's really important to find a mild or a gentle soap for your newborn baby's skin, because baby's skin, again, is very sensitive and they can have a reaction if the soap is too harsh or has too many chemicals in it. So some of the brands that I've used and enjoyed would be Honest, or Arbonne actually has a really great baby line to check out. 7th Generation is another good one. So these are all just more clean products that have no or less harsh chemicals in them. And Kai has eczema, and so that was a big concern for us from the very beginning. All right, you guys, I hope you found these little helpful tips for your newborn's first bath helpful. Again, if you haven't checked out part 1, I will link that in the description box below for you. And if you haven't heard already, Kids OT Help now has a podcast. So if you're a podcast listener, I would love for you to come subscribe, drop me a comment, give me a rating. I will put the link for the podcast below in the description box as well. All right, you guys, I'll catch you in the next video, and thanks again for watching. Bye.